Hi guys, so this is going to be your full moon in Pisces. Since I did some explaining, I'm not going to waste too much time with that in this video, about how we had the full moon starting in Aquarius yesterday. It's in Pisces now until the 24th, and yeah, so we'll just dive right in. It's still full moon. We're going to have a blue moon in Pisces, an astrological blue moon in Pisces, on the 20th, just a few days before the autumn equinox. And so we are just going to be looking at the energies for this Virgo season and this full moon in Pisces. Sorry, I know I'm like doing some terrible shuffling right now these past couple of days. Here we go. You know what? And it works though. Six of Pentacles, I think so. You know, I love that too, actually. That works really great for the Virgo Pisces axis. What is going on, Spirit, with the full moon in Pisces? Yeah. And then the Four of Wands is the back of the deck. I'll just put that right here. I don't know if that's visible on the camera, but I guess I'll find out after recording this. Okay, so I like where this is heading. So in the past, it feels like, and it's not even so much the past. You can read this as past to future. I'm gonna like slightly read it that way, but also just kind of look at it as the overall energies during this season. So more that heading into this season, and maybe from the Leo season into the Virgo season, some people might have been feeling like maybe there wasn't an equal give and take, or, you know, sometimes, and I will say this as somebody with a lot of Pisces in my chart, sometimes we can set ourselves up for that. You know, even though nobody else did anything wrong, it can just sometimes feel like, you know, everybody's trying to give their best, and sometimes it still doesn't end up breaking even just because maybe you're low on energy and you're not honoring your energy cycles or something to that effect. For some people, I like that this has like the moon phases in the middle here as well. For some people, it could just be a matter of communicating better what your needs are, adjusting your own expectations. For some people, it will actually be about, you know, needing to see if maybe you're giving too much to certain people in your life. And not enough to the people who are giving to you, or just maybe not enough to yourself. Six of Pentacles is all about need and giving equally. In the Rider-Waite, it looks a bit more like beggars being given charity, but in this one, it's almost like a gift exchange. It's actually a bit sweeter, and I like that for the Pisces-Virgo axis because both of those signs are kind of known as, they're both mutable signs. And they're both kind of known as the givers, right? I mean, Leo and Taurus can be very giving as well, and Libra because of that association with Venus and the Sun. Sagittarius as well for being associated with Jupiter. There's like kind of like giving from a place of abundance. And I've said this before somewhere, but Pisces and Virgo give out of a place of Pisces gives out of a place of compassion, knowing what it feels like to be left behind, and Virgo gives out of a sense of devotion. And those are both very beautiful qualities, but sometimes we can overextend ourselves when we're in that energy. So it's about finding the balance, knowing that, you know, it's good that you have that beautiful quality about yourself, but sometimes you need to kind of get into this Queen of Pentacles energy and just be like, you know what, I'm abundant, I can give plenty of my time and energy to people, but I have to give that time and energy to myself. We see this rabbit behind her, and it's almost like she's concerned. Like rabbits are known for like energy, right? The Energizer Bunny, they're known for fertility, abundance in the springtime. And it's like she's conserving that energy for herself behind her. Oftentimes we see in Rider-Waite based decks, the Queen of Pentacles like holding the coin or pentacle, and it's like she could give it away, she could hold on to it. But this one is definitely, I think, kind of conserving some of her resources and energy. And like maybe learning to manage her time and energy a bit better. This is not supposed to be a personal reading. Sometimes these things do resonate for me, but you know, I feel like when you're doing a general reading, you're going to be attracted to look at whatever video resonates with you. And these are like general planetary energies of the moon. I was reading a post earlier that said that the people sometimes sleep badly during the full moon. I was actually sleeping a bunch today just to catch up on sleep. But yeah, I mean, I think we're in that energy of high energy, the lunatic energy of just like going and having very high drive to get things done. And then afterwards, we're just kind of spent, right? We're exhausted. And we see that here with the Knight of Wands, with the Ten of Wands underneath. This person's like going in, ready to charge, ready to go after what they want to accomplish. So he's got like 8 legs. It's like ready to get going. It also reminds me of Sleipnir from Norse mythology. There's a horse with 8 legs that can cross through different realms. So you might even be having dreams of, you know, other dimensions, other realms, the ancestral realms, other lifetimes, past life regressions, all sorts of interesting dreams going on for you right now. If that resonates for you, I would say journal those, write that down. But yeah, and now this person is like feeling like they can't hold all these rocks, they can't carry all these wands on their back. It's almost like this little guy's like, hey, are you okay? You know, it's like, but you know, it's fastened around his waist. He's gonna figure it out, right? He or she is gonna figure it out. But for right now, there's a bit of overextending. The Ten of Wands is always about having a bit of a burden in terms of how much time and energy you're spending. Wands is about energy as much as it's about passion and other things. It's about physical energy in particular. Queen of Swords. I like that because Virgo is ruled by Mercury. I like how we have these 2 little dogs here too. Queen of Wands is sometimes, not Wands, Swords, is sometimes, yeah, maybe because I saw the Queen of Wands earlier, there might be a bit of like needing to like bring in the other Queen of Wands energy, you know? I think I was reminded of that in the last reading I did as well. For some reason, I think with the Empress card. But yes, it's like, and it's because she's got like this almost sun looking imagery behind her. Yeah, there's a bit of illumination going on. This Queen of Swords is often depicted as like pointing her hand out, almost like she's saying something that somebody doesn't want to hear. She's kind of sometimes seen as cold, but she's also very intelligent. This one is a bit more conserved. I feel it's like she's gained some clarity about something in her mind. Swords can also be about thinking, not always about speech. And it's almost like with this King of Cups here on like a swan-like looking dragon, it's almost like, so swans and dogs are both about loyalty. I think some people are becoming clearer based on what these cards are saying on who is loyal to them and who is worth their time. And this is going to be less about work things, and it's going to be more about personal, very, very close relationships for some of you, whether that's family, your romantic relationships, very close friendships, people who live near you for most of you, who you see every day. You've gained some clarity about who really cares about your emotional well-being. And yeah, for those of you who are seeing this from Discord, a lot of you have been really wonderfully nice to me and understanding about my energy and stuff. So I want to just say thank you, because yeah, I think I've gained some clarity that I've got some good friends. But for a lot of you, you're going to be seeing that, especially with when it comes to loyalty. I think some of you had some events that have unfolded recently where you really needed support because you had too much going on, or something happened and you couldn't take on as much anymore because something happened in your life. Like maybe you got sick because, you know, the pandemic is starting to surge again in certain areas. Maybe you got sick of it and you needed some time off, and some people didn't take that well. Or, you know, you just had like 10 more things than usual on your plate. And the people who you thought you could rely on to help you out because you've helped them out when they were in a similar boat, maybe they just kind of didn't show up for you. And then you got like maybe other people who are like, hey, are you okay? And it's like you're starting to realize now, oh, there are people who actually care about me, and it's not who I thought it was. For some of you, I think there's a collective energy going on in the general public where for some of you, you're starting to realize who actually cares about your emotional and mental well-being more than others. Yeah. And so with the 9 of Cups energy, that's beautiful. That's all about wish fulfillment. But here we see like, oh, that's interesting because my cat's right behind me right now, guys. I'll show a picture later. But yeah, so I think you're starting to see where you get your emotional support from. You know, because I'm associating my cat right now with emotional support. It might be a cat or not for you guys, but that intuitively just kind of gave me like an aha moment. Like, I think some of you are feeling very emotionally supported. Or you have felt emotionally supported. Oh, I love this imagery of the birds. That's significant for me too. Like, you might even be getting signs from your guides or from somebody important to you. Even if they're busy, they're just like dropping in every once in a while to check in on you and say like, hey, I hope you're doing okay. You know, there are people who care about you all the time, whether it's a dog or a cat or a pet or a family member or a friend. And I think you're starting to realize who takes you for granted, who sucks up your energy versus who really cares about you. And then you got the 8 of Pentacles, which is all about work. On top of this, like 9 of Cups is usually associated with fulfillment of wishes and emotional abundance, but I'm seeing this as being about support here too with the animal. So it's abundance of like emotional support for you. Above the 8 of Pentacles, which is often about work, but she's doing something kind of creative, and we see like the pet again, and it's like you feel like you're able to have the energy to do what you need to do because you're having the support from the right people, which is really, really lovely. I'm really loving this reading, guys. I'm really loving this because you guys are like, whoever's reading this, whatever this is for, this collective energy, whoever is feeling attracted to this reading, I think if this resonates for you, good for you guys. You know, you're starting to come out of this energy this month of like feeling overwhelmed, maybe at the beginning of it, but you're like going to see towards the end of it who makes you feel stable. Because the back of the deck is like the overall hidden energy, right? We've got like this little castle here, 4 walls and 4 wands is all about stability. And this woman, she kind of looks like an empress, honestly. In this deck, she reminds me a bit of the empress. It's like you feel like you can be on top of the world if you have the right people having your back, right? Whereas if the wrong people you think have your back and then it turns out they don't, or, you know, they end up taking more from you than giving, it can be very exhausting. So yeah. So if you've got like a bad employer or, you know, something close to you, somebody you see all the time who makes you feel like this, and then it's like, right, because this can be taken a number of ways. It can be like, oh, really sucks to be you, guess it's, sorry I can't help, and it's like, oh really, because I've helped you before. Or it could be like, oh gosh, are you okay? And you're gonna like know the difference between who's doing the first or the second of those things. And I think it's really nice that we're heading into this area where it's like you feel like you've got the support you need going forward. You've got that loyalty and support towards the end of this lunar cycle, towards the next blue moon in Pisces. And you're heading towards more stability. We saw that with the 10 of coins or 10 of pentacles in the last reading too. So because these are only 2 days apart, these are like back-to-back energies. There's going to be some similarities here. Yeah, I really like that, guys. If I think of anything else, I'll write it down on the Discord or elsewhere, or if you guys make any observations, feel free to like talk to me about this. This isn't static. It's like open to interpretation and to anybody having something to say about it. Why does that feel like that wants to come out too? The moon, of course. Yeah, well, we're in the moon. That moon came out in the last one too. Okay, so let's head to, actually, I wanted to do this first. There, I can do that like shuffle a lot better when it's like closer to my chest. Cause I'm like reaching way out, guys. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Actually, that wants to come out. Yeah, the moon and the sun are wanting to come out a lot lately. Then we'll do that. Actually, those two. That's wanting to come out. Okay, so we're seeing that makes sense. Okay, so, right. And that one almost seems to have like a little bit of a crescent moon inside of it, even. So what I'm seeing here, this actually is the first thing that wants to jump out at me before I even start, and maybe these two as well. So with the Ace of Hearts and the Ace of Clubs, I'm seeing like, and the clubs is all about, you know, what do you have like firm support in, and so that's a bit about physical energy as well. And it's also sometimes about where you feel combative, but with it being the ace and it being more individual, it's like you're fighting for yourself, not necessarily against somebody else, though it can be with what the tarot was talking about, but it's about making yourself feel more stable. And here it's all about that emotional abundance. Even though it's an ace, it kind of reminds me again of like the 10 of coins, kind of like a blending of 10 of coins and 10 of cups energy here. It's really about feeling stable with yourself. Really kind of putting self-care first. With the 10 of hearts here, I'm seeing that some of you might be feeling like you feel more refreshed with a loved one, somebody very close to you. For a lot of you, that might be somebody romantic. It might not necessarily be, it could be a good friend, a sibling, a parent, other family member, but a lot of you are feeling that your base of emotional support is where you really need to turn to right now during this season. To kind of like, maybe there's like a bit of a work-life imbalance for some of you, and you're feeling like you need to just focus on you and your close loved ones for now, if at all possible. I know for a lot of people it's like one thing to say that, and it's another thing to actually do it and actually have the ability to say, I can't do this much work right now, I'm going to take a vacation. I know not everybody can do that, but if you can like even say, hey, I can't work the weekend, you know, I feel like a lot of people are needing to take that time for themselves. You're going to be kind of contemplating, how is it going to be possible for you to do that? Again, we're seeing this illumination here where it's like people are starting to see things clearly. I'm seeing like the rings of Saturn inside of the eye here as well. So it's like you're seeing clearly, for a lot of you, you're seeing clearly about a work situation or a karmic situation, one of the two, maybe even both, where it feels like, okay, I've given and I've given and I've given, I haven't gotten as much out of it, I'm not getting paid nearly high enough to be you know, working 2-3 jobs and only getting this much out of it, or something to that effect. And you're seeing this star energy coming through. We just had a whole bunch of stellar energy coming in with Sirius rising last month, and then the full moon in Aquarius yesterday. I'm recording this on the 22nd for the 23rd, you guys, because YouTube made it really hard to upload. So this is going to be for the 23rd. So you're actually going to be seeing this, and it was 2 days ago that the full moon was in Aquarius. And then the clubs is often about work just as much as it can be about where you feel you need to fight for something. It can also be, it's like your stable support, right? Like you can use a club to fight, or you can use it as like a walking stick, or you could use it to burn wood, burn fire for energy. So it's about physical energy, whereas the spades is more about how you strategize your work. This is all about where you feel like you have the energy to do work. And it's like you're starting to become a bit more illuminated about how you're spending your energy. This is reminding me a little bit of the Ten of Wands again, kind of repeating itself. Yeah. I feel like here we're seeing a bit of a abundance of energy, though. I think once you get this emotional support and this stable support and self-care that you need, it's going to lean into this abundance of energy. There's going to be a bit of that, and I'm reminded of the Six of Coins here again, a bit of a equal give and take. Again, we've got like the Saturn's rings here. For a lot of you, this is going to be about work, feeling like you're giving an equal exchange of your time and energy for what you're getting back out of it. Yeah. Or even a karmic situation. So if you had an ex, maybe you feel like you're going to go towards a relationship that's a bit more equal give and take. Some kind of situation where you did not feel like there was an equal give and take before, but you're heading towards that now with people who you realize actually support you. And for this, I feel like this is all about looking forward to a new cycle. For a lot of you, you might have started to even realize a lot of these things. This illumination might have started coming right after the new moon in Leo that we just had. So you might even be, this might have been going on for almost a month now, this whole month of August, where you've really started to realize, oh, something's not right, something's got to change. Because that Pisces Virgo energy, again, is all about giving, giving, giving. But at some point, the Pisces Virgo energy, it's like either the Virgo or the Pisces is going to be thinking, or, you know, we all have these archetypes within our charts somewhere. Whether it's a house, planetary placement, or a planetary contact, rather, or a zodiac placement in the planets. We have it in some shape or way, or it could be from, you know, people who we've been raised around. We get that energy in some way or another. So we're all being impacted by that Pisces Virgo energy right now, which is all about how much we've been giving. And I think for a change, instead of over giving, we're all like, you know what? We have this beautiful, loving part of ourselves, but we can decide to give to ourselves just as much as we give to other people. I think that's beautiful. Okay, now I can go to this one. Okay. Yeah. That's good. I like that in the future position. Yeah, see? Okay, I'm kind of intuitively going to read that one a bit different. So yeah, a lot of us feel like we've maybe had a cross to bear. So for some of you, I'm getting very specifically, this was a message I kind of felt like it might be the case earlier, but I'm definitely going to say it now. I think maybe somebody watching this is taking care of somebody who is sick. Like maybe you weren't sick yourself, but you were, maybe not before, but for a long time, you might be taking care of somebody who's elderly or disabled, or who has just been very sick for a long time. And maybe it wasn't really your job to take care of them. Like maybe you have a parent who's sick, and let's say you really needed one of your siblings to step up to the plate because you got sick yourself, or you had something else going on, and they just didn't. Nobody else stood, you know, took up that mantle because you needed a break, or something very similar to that. If that's not the case, for you specifically, that it's a general read, so that's not going to apply for everybody. It doesn't apply for me, but I felt like it really applied for somebody. Somebody is taking care of somebody who really cannot take care of themselves at all, and I think they were kind of hoping somebody else would step up to the plate and take up that cross a little bit with them too. Not because it's like a huge sacrifice, or like, I don't want it to sound like, you know, when somebody can't take care of themselves, they need us. You know, that's what Pisces and Virgo is all about. It's about feeling like there's a sense of devotion or duty or compassion, and saying, you know what, this is the right thing to do. But that doesn't mean it's necessarily right for you to have to do it all the time and get nobody else to help. You know, there's a need to be kind of have equal give and take, you know. If this is a person who's mentally ill and they're not willing to get professional support, you don't have to, you know, do everything all the time. You do have to put your own self-care first. I feel like, and this could also apply for somebody in a relationship. It could apply to work. Maybe you're taking on more for the company than you get paid to do. Maybe you're being asked to do a lot of unpaid labor after work hours, which is illegal. They should be paying you overtime or something like that. You know, I feel like some people have been sacrificing a lot more than is fair for them on behalf of somebody else. That's what the cross is all about. And I think what third here is talking about is there's got to be a compromise. There's got to be a third way. It's not just one way or this way. Somebody's got to meet you in the middle and help you. So it's like you want to be able to, and that's 33. So that's a master number. That's all about creative energy. 33, if you were to reduce it, you don't have to reduce master numbers, but if you were, it would be 6, which is a number of love in numerology. It's about spending time with your loved ones. So maybe you feel like you've been spending so much time taking care of somebody else or something for work that you haven't had time to spend with the people you want to spend time with. Children, if you have children, a loved one, if you have a partner. Yeah, there's like all these other people in the background, and it's like, I see that as two different things at once here. It's like the people who you have had to kind of turn your back to because you didn't have time to spend with them, but you want to. And also it's almost like a company board meeting, right? And like you're in the spotlight, and it's like, look guys, I need to make an announcement. I need to do things differently. We need to find a compromise here. And I think it's good that you're willing to speak up for yourself. And then we've got festivities here. So it's like, I'm not a big partier when it's my time to relax. I would rather, you know, just take a long bath or a long nap or something. But for some of you, you're needing to like go do something relaxing for you. We just got out of Leo season. So for some of you who felt attracted to these readings in the first place, I feel like maybe having like a small get together or party is your way of relaxing. I know I have a friend who loves to go to raves, and that's like his way to relax. So yeah, like if you want to, yeah, take a weekend to do that. Just say, hey, look, I've got to go out with my wife or husband or, you know, partner, children, and go do something fun. Because I have had, and that's 4 and 2 reduces to 6 as well. Yeah, this is definitely about spending time with loved ones for a lot of you. A lot of you are feeling like you gave too much time away and you did not get to spend time with the people who you care about. And then 4 and 2 reduces to 5. That's movement, so that's change. Something, so the wheels are moving and change is happening going forward. You speaking up and saying, we really need to have a positive change to something more healthy, a more healthy balance, right? Because this is that World Health symbol, right? That's the 2 snakes intertwined. For some, God, we had the 2, you know, it's haunting me. Some of you are going to be twin flames. I'm just going to come out and say it because I've been getting a bunch of twin flames kind of coming to my hotline and to some of these readings. Some of you are going to be with the 2 candles with the 2 flames there in the poker cards. I'm going to say that for some of you, you're needing to spend more time with your counterpart. or you feel like one of two things. Either you feel like you have not had enough time to spend with your counterpart, or you have been giving too, depending on where you are in your journey, you might be feeling like some karmic cycles need to be cleared up and you're giving too much and you're not getting enough out of it and you need to focus on you. But for some of you, it could just very well be you're both trying, but one or both of you is being distracted by other things, and it's like, look, I need time for me and the things I care about. And I'm reading this because the dots are going smaller and they're getting bigger going upwards, is about ascension. So for a lot of you, it's going to be about needing to like kind of meditate. We even have the arrows pointing upwards. I think that this is about really wanting to break some karmic cycles, right? Whether it's with a boss, right? Because I've said this before, karmic relationships don't have to be romantic. It can be a parent-child relationship. It can be a boss-employee relationship. And karmic relationships from past lives can be with any kind of person. So I think a lot of people are having to like break the chains, like move out of one cycle and get into a different kind of cycle where you're expressing your highest self, your most joyful self, because you're not being bogged down by something that's not fair to you anymore. But you have to kind of break these chains for yourself by saying what you'll tolerate and what you won't. I think for a lot of people, that's what this moon cycle is going to be about healing that. Okay, that's really good. I'm hoping for those of you who do enjoy parties that you enjoy yourself safely. And we're going to do the Moonology deck one more time. I liked that for the first reading, since these are lunar readings. I might not use this every single time, but I felt like I wanted to again this time. Ha 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 ha. Expect powerful change. And as I always say with these, you know, get out your calendars. I wrote it down somewhere. I don't remember. I know we've got another eclipse coming up next year, I think. Another lunar eclipse. Take time to breathe out, yeah. So right after this full moon, we are going to have a disseminating moon starting towards, so the full moon will still be in effect towards like the morning on the 24th, depending on your location. After, like on the 24th and after that, we're going to be having a disseminating moon. We're going to be having a waning gibbous. A new start is coming, right? So we had that coming up here. I think for a lot of you, this last new moon started something new for you, and midway through this cycle, or at the end of this cycle, I should say, and the starting of the new one, before midway between this moon and the next blue moon, that wants to come out. Okay, so for some of you, it is going to be romantic, and for others, it's going to be about this. That's nice because those are opposites as well. So we've had Leo and Aquarius, then Virgo and Pisces, and then these two cards are coming out, Libra and Aries, which are also, and they're both new moons, so they're both opposites. So that's interesting. And then we've got a new moon here. So for a lot of you, and we've got the balance here, it's going to be about equal give and take, and it's going to be about you taking the action necessary to make that happen, needing to have that confrontation or whatever it is. And also just taking time for yourself to breathe out. Right, so for those of you for whom the party thing didn't really, the festivities maybe didn't resonate, just taking time to really kind of relax for yourself, whatever is rejuvenating for you personally, whether you're more extroverted or introverted. So we got a little bit of both here since this is a general read. So that's good. We are having, and I would even say, you might not even need to wait to be, because it is a new moon eclipse, you might not even have to wait until the next eclipse, though the next eclipse may be significant for you personally. I think a lot of powerful change might even be coming, might have started with the last new moon and kind of completing and starting something new with the next new moon. And then we have a new cycle begins. For a lot of you, it's going to be about romance going into the fall. And for other people, it's going to be about work or whatever else is going on. It's just going to be about a new cycle for, I think, all of us, really. I think for the whole general public, what these planetary energies, what these moons are bringing in is a new cycle for a lot of us, just really breaking some of those old bad habits, if we choose it, right? Why is that wanting to come out? Okay, yeah. So yeah, so a lot of us are going to be going from feeling like the pauper to the king, right? We're going to be feeling a lot more in charge of our own lives. I like that. And again, it's the club, so it's about energy and work and having the ability to be in control of your own stuff in your own life. I like that. So that's your read, guys. I hope that resonated.